and one fuckity. Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk about Daryl's vest on Dwight and Negan's F-bombs. Now, we have discussed both of these topics a couple of times in the past, but there's some new information to talk about. First off, Daryl's vest, let's get this out of the way quickly. We knew it was on Dwight. I was actually blown away by how many people were tweeting and retweeting and commenting on the proof or the confirmation or the shock of realizing that Dwight is actually wearing Daryl's vest. This is something that we pinpointed in the trailer when we matched up the stitching. I know we breezed over it because in my eyes, and I assumed in a majority of the fans' opinions, this does not confirm Daryl's death at all. Dwight takes his shit when he was alive in Season 16. Yeah, we're not there yet. Not at Season 16 yet. In Season 6, Dwight takes Daryl's shit when he's alive, like his crossbow, his motorcycle. That's early on in Episode 6, and then afterwards we see him take his shit again. He wounds him, and in our opinion, we don't see it yet, but we assume that Daryl is alive based on this story that they seem to be building with Daryl. If you're looking at the important moments, they're building a story with Daryl, so in my opinion, there's no way in hell he's going to die in the premiere. It's like a 99% chance he's going to live throughout the premiere because they're not going to develop that story just to cut him off. It just doesn't make any sense. You can argue your point if you want it to be Daryl, that's fine. If you believe it is him, let us know down in the comment box. As far as Dwight wearing the vest, in my opinion, it's just that. Dwight thought it was cool, he took it. That's what the Saviors do. It matches their MO, and it fits them beautifully. And why not? And I think this is perfect. We're going to talk about two perfect things that they are doing on the Walking Dead TV show that relate to Negan and Dwight. Now, the first thing is Dwight and the Saviors. Not only does that align beautifully with what the Saviors do, but look at Daryl. For a long time, fans have been bickering about what are they going to do with Daryl and Dwight when they are both on TV at the same time, because in the comic, Dwight looks like Daryl. There was even a April Fool's gag where they made it look like Daryl was coming to the Walking Dead comic, and this was early on, before we even saw Negan in the comic book. A lot of fans were talking about, which I find ridiculous personally, because you would think in an apocalypse situation with zombies, crossbows would be more popular. I think it would be cool to see a little gang that goes out, like one of the Savior's outpost gangs, and 4 or 5 of them each have crossbows, something like that. I think it would be more common. I don't know, maybe I'm going crazy, because you would figure a lot of these people would be, you know, scavenging places that would sell a lot of sporting goods and stuff like that, and you see all these crossbows and bow and arrows and compound bows and all that shit hanging up, so you think they would be taking a lot of those weapons. I don't know. In my opinion, it's silent. It's one of the best weapons you can use. That or a sword, because of how silent it is. You know, if you get caught on the side, you can kill something and then those walkers won't even see you, but if you have a gun, you just gave away your position. Anyhow, looking at Daryl, if you bring Dwight in, Daryl looks like comic Dwight, with the crossbow, with how he dressed, with the sleeveless shirts and shit like that. He looks identical to comic Dwight. But if you bring in Dwight, not looking like comic Dwight, pre-burn face, now you have Dwight take Daryl's shit because it matches what the Saviors do. They see something they like, they take it, they want half your shit, yada yada yada. But it also solves that problem, that mystery that fans of the comic have been wondering about. What are they going to do with Dwight and Daryl being somewhat the similar looking characters from comic to show? It solves it perfectly in my opinion. Before we move into Negan, I will clarify, absolutely no. This does not mean at all that Daryl is killed. Maybe he was taken. I can see that, because I do believe, like I've been saying time and time again, they're building something with Daryl and Dwight that's beyond a rivalry. I think there's a lot of good development potential that's set up already. Now, moving on to Negan, something came out in The Hollywood Reporter, I believe it was. Now, we discussed this previously, that I see it shared, and every other week I'm seeing people sharing new information about this, but bottom line, no matter how much little tidbits they give us, yes, Negan is going to be dropping the F-bomb and probably some other curses on the Blu-ray for season 6, which comes out in just, what, a week and a half, something like that. August 23rd. I'm definitely buying the Steelbook from Target. I love the Steelbooks, so I will be doing a video, maybe a reaction of that scene for the finale. I don't know, whatever. Anything else that's new besides that one scene, I'll also do videos for too, but it has a counter. It says there's going to be 3 fucks, 2 fucked, 16 fucking, 1 fucker, and 1 fuckity. Now, it appears that they got an early viewing of this uncensored, probably for publicity's sake, so they can put out this information in these articles. And this is really cool, but looking beyond the fact that we're getting a little bit more in the uncensored version on Blu-ray, which is exactly what I've wanted from the beginning, so I am perfect with this. I love it. I have no problems watching it in its comic book accuracy glory on Blu-ray, because I was buying the Blu-rays anyway for all the seasons. So now it just makes it more refreshing when you get to rewatch the show with these added F-bombs and anything else they want to include. I'm hoping there's some more gore, like in the premiere with the Negan victim. I'm hoping they can insert some more gore. I think that is absolutely something perfect that they can include that would help sell some more units for the Blu-ray. Now, on top of this, what it is doing is it's showing us that they are determined to give us something that fans desire. AMC is criticized a lot for this, which, yes, with my recent situation where AMC is wrongfully taking ad revenue away from this channel because they can at this moment until we fight back. In certain aspects, AMC is greedy as shit, or at least that department. Whoever's doing that, very greedy. In other aspects, fans have pointed out and attacked AMC for being greedy, money hungry, milking The Walking Dead for everything they can. We've seen this in numerous situations, like even the figures from McFarlane Toys. When you break it down, The Walking Dead brand is the one that's having something taken away from it, while the other brands being tacked on to that. The different brands are being put together to sell figures, and they're using the base of Walking Dead fans in order to sell brands that were weaker on their own. They came right out and said this. So for the collectible market, as far as AMC is concerned, for certain aspects, even ad revenue on YouTube, all these different aspects that fans bitch and complain that AMC is going to do, like milk Daryl Dixon to death and everything like that. Yes, there's arguments to be made, but when you look at the creators and you separate yourself from your anger you have with AMC for what it is, for whatever it is, I mean, when you look at the creators and the people behind the show, they are giving us something as fans that they know we love, that they know we want, and they're going out of their way. Not only is Jeffrey Dean Morgan doing additional takes that normally they wouldn't have to do. It's not going to kill The Walking Dead if they cut out the F-bombs on the Blu-ray. It won't cripple the show. It won't get canceled. Yes, it would be extremely disappointing. They are going out of their way to give us extra. And I think that's the moment where we need to sit back and say, okay, we might be mad at the cliffhanger. We might be mad at AMC. We might be mad at this other different shit. And I'm trying to stay general to encompass everything you might be pissed off about. If you're a comic fan and you want more comic material, if you're pissed off at what they did with Tyrese or Andrew or whatever, I understand all of that. I'm even pissed off in certain aspects of certain things they did. But at the end of the day, if we can praise them for the moments they get 100% right, I say let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we can point out the negative shit as much as we want, fine. You guys know I never shy away from pointing out the negative stuff. This channel would probably even have an open line of communication with AMC, or maybe even partner to do some promotions if I consistently kiss their ass. But the point is, I will pick out the negatives. But you can't keep constantly focusing on the negatives because it just drags you down. And this is one positive. I am just asking fans, all fans, to look at this positive moment, because it is a positive moment. And it's not just about the F-bombs. It's not just about the cursing. It's about them putting in more work, more effort to give us something they know it fits perfectly in this fandom. No one's ever going to be 100% satisfied all the time, you know what I mean? But I just see this as a big win for the fans, and I want to give a huge thank you to everyone involved that puts in that extra work, that extra effort to give something back to the fans. And I'm talking about the cast and crew. That's the crew working on the set, that's the writers, that's the producers, that's the actors, especially anyone who puts in that little bit of extra effort. Huge thank you, especially from me, and I'm hoping from the rest of the fan base, which I'm sure most of you will, because that's why we're here, you know, because we are fans, right? So I guess my closing message would be, yeah, even though we're pointing out negatives at times, let's not forget we're fans because we love the world of The Walking Dead, and that's the world that they created as a whole. There might be bits and pieces you don't like, you disagree with, or whatever, but when there's moments that come out that fit this world perfectly, and you know that they're putting in extra effort to give us these things that they don't need to give us, let's not overshadow that and say, well, you know what, they killed Andrea, so fuck them anyway still. Let's look at this and say, guys, this is fantastic. This is something that I am thrilled that you're doing. I know it's extra, and I want to give you a huge thank you to anyone involved, anyone given a little bit extra for the fans, so we can have something to be proud of, to enjoy, to love. And I'm very excited for this, and I can tell you, we're definitely going to be breaking down the Season 6 Blu-ray, looking at some of the extras, some of the special ones, the common bonus features, or the featurettes or anything like that. Unless there's really something specific to point out in those, you guys can go ahead and watch them and enjoy them for what they are. And if you guys have any thoughts or opinions that you want to share about both of these topics, go ahead and leave those down in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Subscribe now.